And the Oscar goes to...
Please, please.
Michelle Yeoh.
Let's go! Let's go! I scared my cat. God, I love this woman. Michelle Yeoh has been one of my favorite actresses for years now, so you cannot believe how happy I was that Oscar Sunday. If you couldn't already tell. Also, YouTube AdSense is paying me pennies as of now, so just pretend I'm wearing this shirt that has her name on it. Believe it or not, I have many...
Because animated films make up some of our most formative movie experiences as kids.
Animation is Hollywood's most successful and innovative genre.
Many grievances with the Academy of Motion Picture Art and Sciences, but seeing winners like Guillermo del Toro, Ke Huy Quan, yes, Michelle Yeoh, and the rest of the Everything Everywhere All at Once cast and crew on that stage made me realize that, maybe the Oscars kinda, sorta, do really matter. There's so much cat hair on here. Just because the Academy failed to recognize something like the Lego Movie for a nomination, or how I disagree with most of the Best Animated Feature wins since its inception, doesn't mean my personal choice can't be a winner in my eyes. But there's something about the Oscar voters not only recognizing someone's work as worthy, but actually following through with that by giving them the win is a sight to behold. Michelle Yeoh's work started in a watch commercial alongside none other than Jackie Chan after being crowned Miss Malaysia in 1986. This is where she began starring in Hong Kong martial arts movies like Yes Madam and Police Story 3 Super Cop. Also starring, oh hey, Jackie Chan. She eventually makes her Hollywood debut as a Bond girl in Tomorrow Never Dies with Pierce Brosnan. Yeoh became an even bigger household name when she starred in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon in 2000. Oh, wait, have I mentioned that Michelle does most, if not all, her stunts? That's her. That's her. That's her. That's her. In the Super Cop credits, you see her almost die multiple times. It's a miracle she still graces us with her presence today. Accented Cinema goes more in depth about Yeoh's career in his own video about her, which I would highly recommend. I love how she's a big advocate for not just having women fight on screen, but them being able to maintain their femininity as well. I have nothing but the utmost respect for her. However, my personal experience with her didn't start then because, well, I had yet to exist, but it instead started with... Even though I've always loved the Kung Fu Panda films, it wasn't until freshman year of high school when I got really into them. My friends can vouch for me, just trust me on this.
Hey, do you guys remember my Kung Fu Panda phase?
I gained so much appreciation for Hans Zimmer and John Powell for their work on the scores, Jack Black and James Hong as actors. My personal favorite from the three is... which meant I also fell in love with Gary Oldman and, of course, Michelle Yeoh. Flash forward 2 years or so later in 2018 when Crazy Rich Asians was released. I went in pretty blind, but I was still interested. All I knew was that it was quite the Hollywood milestone for having an all-Asian cast since the Joy Luck Club. It was receiving positive reviews and Yeoh was starring in it. And you wanna know what? I freaking loved it. If Kung Fu Panda 2 was my introduction to Yeoh and made me fond of her, then Crazy Rich Asians cemented her as one of my favorite actresses. The plot is nice too. Yeah. Jump ahead to 2020 when I've seen a couple more of her movies, and I'm scrolling through her filmography on Letterboxd, and I find this one called Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now, when you go through the filmography of an actor, director, or studio, it's ranked by its popularity on Letterboxd by default, so this was all the way at the bottom. No poster, no release date, not even a synopsis. So I'm pretty sure all I had to go off was the cast and genres. But as I said in my 2022 ranking video, seeing Michelle Yeoh and James Hong were enough for me to go boop. So I kept a lookout ever since. Flash forward once more to late 2021, early 2022 when the trailer drops. I'm hyping myself up, telling my friends about how it became the highest rated movie on Letterboxd, and I started dubbing it into the Yeohverse because it rolls off the tongue better, and
I understood that reference.
the next thing I know, I'm sitting with my friends at a Thursday night showing. It was a lot to process with its raccooonies and hot dog fingers and maximalist everything. But I really enjoyed it, and it's only gotten better with repeat viewings. All of which have been in theaters the past year. The movie first premiered in March, and it could be pretty hard to keep something like that in people's minds for an entire year for it to make an impact at the Oscars. But word of mouth began spreading more and more people continued to talk about it more and more. And here we are, 11 Oscar nominations and 7 wins later, including Best Actress. I'm surprised they did something right for a change because it's not every day that happens. Of course I was hoping she'd get recognition for her performance, but there was a part of me that thought it wouldn't come true given Hollywood's history with people of color. I mean, Cate Blanchett did give an amazing performance in Tar, but I was worried she was going to win by default since she's well established with Academy voters. The very nature of Tar being a 2.5-hour, slow burn, dialogue heavy movie about a composer seems like it would appeal more to voters. Right? Compare that to Michelle Yeoh, who's been in the business for 40 years, but got her start in Hong Kong films. And you know how the average American reacts to subtitles.
I don't think Americans watch subtitled films.
Into the Yeohverse was the first time in years she landed a leading role in a Hollywood film, if not ever, depending on whether or not you count Crouching Tiger, yet never once winning a major award. Despite this, there's no rivalry between Yeoh and Blanchett. You do have to appreciate that even though the two were neck and neck as frontrunners, they're absolute besties. I mean, their actors on actors interview is pretty much them praising each other for 40 minutes.
Hello, Michelle Yeoh.
Hello, Cate Blanchett.
There's something about your presence. You just have this aura.
And I have loved you from your first film and followed you in awe with deep respect and, envy.
I'm dying to see them share the screen too. When she's not verse jumping or pulling a twin broadsword out of thin air. Seriously, how'd she do that? She's still graceful as ever. She has such a regal sounding voice that I can listen to it for hours. That was the first thing that made me fall in love with her after all. Even her words can cut deeper than any combat weapon she's used.
You will never be enough.
You have to try and eat healthier. You are getting fat.
我看看我的生活，如果没有你是多么的美好。It was beautiful. 当年我应该听我妈说的话，我要跟你走。
So imagine all this admiration I've been building over the years and how it was all going through my head when the Oscar nominations were announced that early January morning. The more awards Michelle was winning during this time, the more positive I started thinking that she was actually going to win that Oscar bit by bit. But the Oscars are pretty fickle, so part of me was still kind of doubting. But sure enough, as the hours passed on the broadcast, Michelle's name was finally announced. Yeoh's, not Williams. It's no wonder why she was sitting in the very front row with the other cast and crew members of Everything Everywhere. I mean, imagine being stuck in the back and having to walk back and forth from the Dolby Theater stage to collect your Oscars. Ugh, disgusting. It's probably also why Halle Berry was there to hand her the award. The only other woman of color to win that category in the Oscars' 95 years of existing. It also blows my mind that she's the first Asian actress to win the award. I'm shocked it hasn't been done before, but I do believe that if anyone should carry the title of first Oscar-winning lead Asian actress, Michelle Yeoh is the perfect choice. Even if she should have won for Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Merle Oberon would be proud. She looked absolutely ravishing on that stage. The gold statue complemented her white feathery dress so nicely, her hair cascading down her shoulders, her pretty little headband. I mean, she was positively glowing. I don't think any of us would have believed that Michelle and everyone else would be winning Oscars for the movie a year after it premiered at South by Southwest. I'm so proud of Michelle and how far she's come, and I know she has so much more to do. I know this win is most important to the Asian community, probably more than I can ever comprehend. I mean, just look at the reaction of her mother when the announcement was made. But even though I may not look like her, she's still someone I greatly look up to in terms of how I can do great things and kick butt while still looking pretty, and I can't let anyone tell me that I'm past my prime. There's many other wins that I'm proud of, not just the ones that were related to Everything Everywhere. Ke Kwan is just as deserving for the award. I mean, the fact that Ariana DeBose choked up while reading the envelope says it all. Hollywood has a lot of catching up to do to fill out his filmography. Paul Rogers winning Best Editing for the film, who used the software I have, is so inspiring. The Daniels was very well deserved also. I freaking loved Kwan's suit. And this is going to be a hot take, but I'm honestly not too upset that Jamie Lee Curtis won. I mean, yeah, Stephanie Hsu should have instead, and Curtis was my third favorite out of the category. I haven't seen The Whale yet, or Black Panther, but Hong Chow was great in the menu, so I'm not surprised.
The hell are these?
These are tortillas. tortillas deliciosas.
Yeah, so what are these?
These are tortillas.
Okay, so I watched it, and I think I might go ahead and, yeah. And about the Best Actor thing, I personally kind of sort of have a Colin Farrell bias, so I was kind of hoping he would win. But Brendan Fraser was well deserved, especially after everything he's been through. Esmeralda, do you have anything to add? Very insightful, I agree. I don't think Curtis's performance was necessarily Oscar-worthy, but it was Michelle who got her there. Her words, not mine.
Michelle Yeoh is the reason that for the rest of my life, you will say Oscar-nominated actress Jamie Lee Curtis.
However, for someone who's been acting since she was 19, I do believe her win was overdue, even if she may have had stronger competition. Besides, this was Stephanie's breakout role, so I'm sure she's bound to have more nominations and hopefully wins in her future. Best Supporting Actor may have had strong competition as well, but I don't see why they couldn't have nominated James Hong, who I could dedicate a whole video to as well, but the personalized shout out from Jimmy Kimmel was really sweet. Anyway, those are my 2 cents, because throwing complaints and angry tweets amongst the sea of others isn't going to make the Academy change their mind. The final thing I will leave you with is something I tweeted the morning after the broadcast, and that there was something so poetic about Michelle Yeoh presenting the Oscar for a multiverse movie, and she ends up winning one of her own 4 years later. Add that to the reasons why I've been calling it Into the Yeohverse. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, join my Patreon to help me buy that shirt, stan Michelle Yeoh, watch Into the Yeohverse if you haven't already, all that jazz, and I'll see you later.